profesional de la carrera de Desarrollo de Negocio y Relaciones con los Clientes. Graduado en la Universidad de Liverpool John Moore y Universidad Técnica de Múnich. Asimismo, es un director comercial con extenso conocimiento en la industria aeroportuaria, amplia experiencia en la planeación comercial, programas de concesión aeronáuticos y no aeronáuticos a nombre de la. Es miembro de la AFI World Economic Standing Committee. Un fuerte aplauso.
Muchas gracias. ¿Me escuchan? Okay. Muy buenos días. Muchas gracias por la invitación y la oportunidad que podemos hablar aquí hoy día. Mi nombre es Norbert Onkelbach. Estoy acá en Lima 5 años y Carlos, tú sabes un poco, mi castellano es un poco rústico. Si me permite, voy a hablar un poco en Spanglish en la conversación o en la presentación. Me han dicho que tengo solamente 15 minutos y tengo 30 slides, entonces ustedes pueden recibir la copia de los slides todos al fin de esta reunión, claro. Vamos a ver. Sí, somos LAP es la concesión del aeropuerto desde 2001. Ustedes conocen, eso es la concesión que maneja Aeropuerto Jorge Chávez. We had in 2021, we had 10 million passengers, 10.8 to be exact, and this year we're going to finish with 18.8 million passengers. You will of course ask, what is the future? I will take you through that. So we are basically, as an airport organization, we see ourselves as a platform manager. It's an ecosystem that is around us. When you look at it, and I only have 15 minutes today, but when you look at it, we have 140 stakeholders in an aeronautical and non-aeronautical portfolio. We have 31 airlines, 24 airlines in passenger airlines and 7 in sole freighters. And when you look at the impact that this ecosystem has on the GDP or el impacto al PIB, it was basically in 2018 $1.4 billion. And with the indirect effects, which is not only like our direct payment in impuestos and our own revenues, we have an effect of 90,000 people that work around Jorge Chávez. The passenger performance, when we go back, you saw that in 2020 we had that was the COVID year, but it was a tough one, 6.5 million passengers, 10.1 in 2021, and this year I expect that we will be above 18 million, as I was saying. For next year we expect 22 million passengers going forward into 2024, 25. So until that moment of 2024, we believe we are still suffering from the post-COVID effects or from the recovery period, in which airlines are stabilizing their operations, their sales, and the effect is on tourism as well, that the tourism industry will stabilize, there will still be trial and error, and it is driven by the uncertainties that we all know and have been discussed today, such as the war in Europe or the fuel price and all those issues. Going forward, when you look into 2030, you see 37 million passengers. That is a number that Carlos was referring to in his panel. And to the end of the concession, we are thinking and we are planning for 50 million passengers basically. Just briefly, because I wanted to give you like an overview of where we can support you as AMCHAM or also the different institutions that are here today. We do regular surveys at our terminal y sabemos que 55% es el tráfico nacional y 45% internacional. Eso lo que ven aquí es el perfil de los viajeros en el mercado internacional. El mercado internacional es 77 leisure y 19 business. Honestly, we are not a business destination. We are not comparable to Guarulhos. Guarulhos has a different profile when we compare ourselves, but Guarulhos already had 40 million passengers. It has a different profile. We want to be part of the efforts that have been discussed today in the panels, how we can support that we are growing in MICE, that we're growing in business destinations. And I wanted to bring you these graphs today, that we are happy to share what we know in order to be part of the different MESAs or the initiatives that we're formulating. When you look at our passenger profiles, that's not so much surprising. It's 50-50 female and non-female. Interesting is basically when you look, you see down there, you have frequent travelers at this airport 4 times and more per year. We have heavy users in the airports, whereas tourism, they only come once in a lifetime to Peru. I believe that needs more analysis. What are our different users? Why I'm referring to this is that in the course of 2021 and 22, we basically reformulated our strategy. And basically our corporate strategy is now based on sustainability. Of course, we still need to do what every commercial company needs to do. We need to be profitable and we maximize, of course, our business. But the sustainable element of all our activities is now core of all our working areas and our units and departments. I don't want to go in depth. We could discuss this on a particular note, but basically speaking, up in the what is north, you see basically we need to ensure a customer experience. La experiencia del pasajero y cliente es el enfoque de nuestra planificación. Y eso es parte del nuevo terminal. At the same time, when you look down here at innovation and technology, we are now developing one token technology in which you're checking in with your face and then go through the airport and have faster processes than in the past. So between innovation and technology y las relaciones confiables, we are basically ensuring that we're looking into our internal stakeholders, our people and talento, and of course into the media ambiente. Okay, now I have another 5 minutes on the expansion program, which you may want to know most of it. We are building basically a new airport. January 2025, we will close down Terminal 1 that you all know, and we will have a process in the course of 2024 of moving basically the traffic and all activity of Jorge Chávez to the new Terminal 2, which in the future will be called Terminal 1, but we call it for the sake of planning Terminal 2. It will accommodate all airlines that you have seen in the traffic forecast, basically 31 airlines or 24 passenger airlines. You have followed us in the past when we had a dual terminal proposal, but in the very end we saw that the airlines wanted to operate under one roof, and we understand that this makes sense. Part of our concession agreement are the obligation, number 1, to bring online a new runway, which what you see under B, which is 3,500 meters long. And we are currently in the process of handing over it to Copac to operate it, and that was due in October 2022, basically this month. We are doing that. At A, you see the tower that is necessary to operate the new runway. And I will take you a bit through the master plan in a moment. Number C is a terminal for January 2025 to go online, which we are now building, and I'm going to take you through that project as well. Now, that was the tower, which is basically ready 100%, and for the sake of time, I will be very quick here. The runway as well is ready, 3,500 meters has been built. And that is the terminal that we're building, which is currently at a level of 20%. The process will be that in the second half of 2024, we will basically finish the building and then start the mobilization process going into Q4 for the airlines to move and plan together with us the process what we call ORAT, which is operational readiness and transfer, so that we can ensure that in January 2025 all airlines are working from Terminal 1. That is the plan. That is a different view of the project. A week before, that was 19.4%. I'm going to skip that and make it very short. It has like 4 different levels. It is a completely different structure in comparison to the today's terminal that you know. It is basically having a curbside which has a departure level and an arrival level which we are separating from the fluchos. The idea is, when you look at the terminal, that in the future that terminal can grow, as you see it, to 50 million passengers. It is a modular terminal that we have designed, and to make it short, on the like what you see in North or Project North is the domestic area. Then you see to the left you see the swing piers. Swing piers are where we can operate in 2 levels, domestic and international departures or arrivals at the same time. And then on the southern side here you see basically the international concourse. That is the master plan I was referring to. The new runway has the same length like the old runway, and many people ask us, what is the capacity of that system? These 2 runways are 1,500 meters apart from each other. La distancia es 1,500 metros. Y con ese sistema podemos, en teoría, en el futuro, podemos operar como en Múnich 70 aviones cada hora. Right now, we are coordinated at 35 movements per hour, and whatever the transition plan of Corpark is that we need to ensure that we still have the 35 per hour before we then open the new terminal and can continue growing. These are some vistas, some renderings of the new terminal, which I'm not commenting due to the time. That is something where I wanted to bring that slide to you. This is very important. Eso es un elemento súper importante por el proyecto. Necesitamos el apoyo de todas las autoridades, instituciones como AMCHAM también, para que el gobierno tiene el reconocimiento por la construcción de este puente. That is basically where the Santa Rosa Bridge will come into the land of Lima Airport and connect to our own construction. We will be ready, but we need the government support and decision to go for the tender and commission a company to build the bridge. I'm going to skip that, but we are basically part of an integrated system in the city of Lima. I was earlier talking about the ecosystem. It brings me a bit to the airport city. When we defined the master plan, we identified 100 hectares of lands which are actually available for real estate development, for investment by third parties. We are now publishing before Christmas the first RFPs for the first office building at the airport hotel opposite the terminal, and happy to explain also together with our colleagues who are here today how we are planning and whatever you would like to know from us. The airport city includes basically all asset classes such as cargo, warehousing, logistics of course, which is very close to an airport, but also hotels, can be conference center over the time, and can even be retail. That is basically the what we call what is the nucleus of the airport city, which we call Santa Rosa. And you see what I was referring to in plot A. You see basically the hotel and the office opportunity. These are the vistas of the airport city. At the left-hand side, you see an airport hotel at 4-star, which we are tendering. And then the oficinas, the first building on the right, which we are tendering as well. The renderings as such show you 2050. But what we wanted to ensure that there is a master plan that we can grow the non-aeronautical activities and investment by third party into Jorge Chávez in a meaningful master planned way. That is the terminal and some inside the terminal renderings. On top you see the facade. Up there you see the departure level. In the middle there is a mezzanine that is connecting to the car park. And below that little bridge that you see there is the arrival area for pickup of arriving passengers. Inside the terminal, we will have marketplaces which have a focus on customer-oriented new concepts, which we are developing for international and for a domestic marketplace. They are not comparable to the current airport. Basically, our current terminal is 90,000 square meters, and from a commercial perspective, it has 12,000 square meters. The new terminal is more than 220,000 square meters and has something like 25,000 square meters for commercial activities. In the interest of time, I have to thank you very much y muchas gracias por la oportunidad para esta presentación. Pero en el futuro lo que nos interesa como organización es que nos integramos con ustedes en el AMCHAM y las mesas que existen y tenemos el interés de compartir nuestro conocimiento y datos y planes. Muchas gracias.
Se lo pasas tú a ella. No sé quién es, pero me dijo